Now, here comes the harder question. If a Muslim is nominated to the Supreme Court of the United States or to a federal appeals court or a federal district court, how would you think the questioning ought to go, given Article 6 prohibition on religious tests, but also given the standard you just articulated? How ought the nominee to be questioned to see if they meet your standard?
Well, again, if I were the one nominating such a person, I would spend a good deal of time looking at their background and seeing if it is consistent with the kinds of standards that we expect from such a position. I would take that into account much more than what they had to say. And that's been part of the problem, I think, with some of the selections. You know, we listen to what they say and not what they have done.
So would you be open to appointing a Muslim to the Supreme Court?
To appointing who?
Appointing a Muslim to the United States Supreme Court if you were president.
I wouldn't have a problem with that. Again, you know, it's not being a Muslim. It's a matter of whether one is willing to accept the principles and values of America and our Constitution.
I get that.
If they want to put their lifestyle, which, you know, Islam, which incorporates Sharia, is a lifestyle. If they clearly have rejected that, will do that publicly, and their life has manifested that, then there's no inconsistency whatsoever.
Well, that's what I thought you were saying, but I'm trying to imagine how it would look at a Senate confirmation hearing. I'm sure you remember the confirmation hearings of Clarence Thomas and the confirmation hearings of Chief Justice Roberts and the confirmation hearings of Judge Alito. And they always are taught, they never get asked about their religious beliefs. But I think you're saying a Muslim nominee would have to be asked about their religious beliefs. Am I right about that?
Well, I think if we're talking about a whole different way of life, which includes Sharia, we obviously want to make sure that if a person comes from a background where that is likely to be their belief system, and it's more than just a religion, it's a political aspect and a whole style of living. If that is the case, obviously we need to know about that.
Now, I'm looking at the biography of Abdul Kalon, who was sworn in as a federal judge in Birmingham, Alabama. He went to Dartmouth, I think, and that's pretty sketchy if you ask me, but put the Dartmouth thing aside. He also went to the University of Pennsylvania Law School, and that's a great law school, but it doesn't tell me anything about whether or not he goes to mosque or whether he's Sunni or Shia. It doesn't tell me anything about that, and in the past we've never inquired. Does Dr. Carson think we need to inquire?
Again, I'm going to go back and I'm going to look at his life. I'm going to look at what has been going on in his life, what his lifestyle has been. If he has a judicial record, we're going to go and look at that. And that can tell you a great deal without specifically asking, you know, the religious question.
And so would it matter to you at all how often or in which mosques they went to? There are some mosques that are known to be radical in the United States. There are some that are known to be the opposite of radical and, you know, mainstream. I
think we have to use common sense. You know, that solves a lot of our problems right there if we use common sense, which seems to be pretty uncommon these days.
Agreed.